The Bipartisan Infrastructure Bill passed in the last week, and that's good news for expanding broadband and 5G connectivity across the nation, which is sorely needed. Congress passed the bipartisan bill, and a significant amount of that funding is focused on technology, specifically on expanding high-speed internet access across the country. So, democratizing this high-speed internet, making it both available and affordable, is critically important. And we've been trying to breach this digital divide for a very long time now. And I think one of the things that navigating a global pandemic showed us for sure is the importance of internet accessibility and affordability for all. So it's great to see this as a key underpinning of the infrastructure bill. Some specifics there. $24.45 billion have been set aside for the Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program. And this, again, will deploy broadband in underserved areas. Each state in the United States is expected to receive 100 million of that funding. There's $2 billion going to the Broadband Connectivity Fund, $2.75 billion allocated for digital equity grant funding. So if you're looking for opportunities to submit grant requests, there you go. And there's $1 billion for middle mile deployment broadband funding for rural communities and rural locations. Any way you look at this, this is great news for especially for rural communities and underserved areas in the United States, and really an exciting step forward, because I think a lot of times when we think about infrastructure, we think about roads, we think about bridges, but internet technology and connectivity is very much infrastructure.
No doubt. And this has been most welcomed. It's been building up for a while. And so finally, Congress was able to pass a bill that was signed into law. And so that definitely is laying the foundation for some very important work that needs to be done in terms of just that. Making the U.S. broadband infrastructure more available, definitely is targeted at addressing underserved areas. And so that is certainly going to be a difference maker in terms of reducing the digital divide, but also boosting investment in key technology areas such as fiber builds, as well as 5G technology. And the good news doesn't end there. I mean, the $65 billion that's allocated exclusively to broadband infrastructure is a difference maker for sure. In addition, there's $5 billion that's being allocated toward smart grid upgrades. So that will help actually fuel our overall broadband capabilities. In addition, there's $17 billion that's being allocated to port infrastructure specifically. So this will help fuel the use case for what can be characterized as smart ports, as well as $25 billion for airport modernization. We're seeing private networks taking off in airport environments. And for example, companies like Betacom are making a huge difference in that regard. In fact, offering what is labeled a 5G as a service in terms of enabling private networking capabilities in airports specifically. And finally, $50 billion to improve our cyber defenses, as well as protecting against natural disasters. So that definitely helps critical infrastructure, public safety. And so, all these billions are actually going to basically form that foundation to really advance broadband here in the U.S. I think it's been most anticipated. And again, we're looking forward to seeing how this plays out. And I think we can make a solid bet that this will definitely be good news in terms of overall broadband capabilities, because it's not just focusing on one segment, but really across multiple segments that all, when you combine them together, will make a net new advancement for broadband.
Right. Absolutely. Well, good things ahead. We are very excited about that for sure.